starting by looking back at the year. These are some pictures, some of the things that we saw back in 21. Mind you, we didn't have anything during 2020, and I think we were all looking forward to the competitions in 21, athletes and audience and all of us. And we saw a first round in Switzerland. One of the pictures is from the beautiful arena. A good thought, but the arena was completely empty, so no audience. We could have the competitions, but no audience. We continued up after VOC. We continued up to Sweden in August to Idrefjell Wilderness. We were allowed to have audience. However, it was cold and it was rain. We didn't have much audience anyway, and it's a remote place. But we had the audience on TV instead. Continued down to Italy in the beginning of October, where we saw the World Cup winners of the year. The evaluation that we have done is with a variety of inputs, so it's not like a formal or formalized evaluation with a straight format, but it's more of input from various sources, meetings with TV companies, with the TV production team, with the consortium. We had an open meeting with teams and some individual input from coaches and from athletes, and from other sources, some social media. So putting that all together, we look at the evaluation from a number of perspectives. But before getting there, just reminding of where we stand in the World Cup. Aaron told us some about the history back from '86, but the consortium was formed for the period of 2020 up to 2024, and we lost the first year. But the goals are these. It's much about attractiveness. So it should be attractive, and it's putting the brand World Cup next to VOC. It's like a reply to the needs of the questions from the TV that they want to send more. So it's like a reply that let's make the World Cup attractive, and like many other sports, have it side by side with the World Championships. So, key question: did we notice the difference? This is a question formulated by Brigitte. We put focus on the World Cup, our resources in the World Cup, and we want to see a difference. So, did we see a difference during the year? Key question. I think the teams and the athletes are telling us yes, we did see a difference. It is another professional level. It's higher. It may not be exactly where we want to be, and we have the period up to 24 to fulfill the goals. But yes, we have taken a step. Definitely the round in Switzerland, definitely the round in Sweden. Maybe Italy was a bit different. TV feedback from TV is that it's good. We're seeing good development. We're also noticing good participation. Mind you, this is during the COVID period that we still are in, but somehow are leaving behind us. And of course, we are missing a number of teams during 21. We had particularly non-European teams that didn't come simply. They couldn't travel with all the restrictions. But considering the restrictions, participation was good. Many teams sent full teams, and we're happy with the participation under the circumstances. So let's look at a number of areas. Let's look at the program, which is one important area. The cancellation of 2020, it meant that events were cancelled and some were moved, and it became a puzzle, and we had to shuffle around. A lot of aspects to think of. So the solutions came rather fast, and fast decisions, good communication with potential organizers, and I think we're getting a good response. I think the program became appreciated after all. We didn't have many alternatives, but it ended up in a good situation. We didn't have any much alternatives for 22 and 23 either, because it got the effects, the shuffling around is meaning effects on the coming years. That is one aspect. The other aspect is that it's regardless of the COVID situation and the shuffling around of events, applications are not very many. One of the goals being attractive to organizers. That means that it would ideally be plenty of organizers asking to join. We're not there yet. Teams and athletes are appreciating the focus on sprint and forest, so it's separated, economical reasons. When I'm saying teams, it doesn't necessarily mean all the teams, but many teams. Another important aspect of 21 is, of course, COVID. This is a moving target, or it was a moving target. It's still a moving target, and things kept happening over the year. We had to take fast decisions. So did we handle that well? Well, facts are that we don't have any known cases. That's fact. And that is, of course, good. I think everyone more or less is saying that it did actually happen when the events could actually happen. And that I think is appreciated by, everyone. Now, from teams and athletes, I think the understanding is there, or has been there during the year, that we have to do this. Management of situation, including pre-meetings. We had something similar to team official meetings, but focusing on COVID, and we had COVID bulletins for all the events, and the meetings taking place approximately 2 weeks ahead of the events. I think that was good. We involved medical expertise for advice, which was also good. However, implementation may not have been ideal. We have teams saying that it's too much, 2 tests, for instance. It's not needed. We have other teams saying it's too little. We're not obeying the rules. There are teams not using masks, and they're in the hotels. There are other people. So there may not be a consensus here if we did everything right or not. We had. I think we should be rather happy with the balance. Of course, expensive. It's difficult to say if we with maybe only 1 testing, for instance, would you still have no known cases? Maybe not. We have organizers saying that, okay, we accept the rules, not necessarily agreeing with all the details, but accepting. That is, of course, an important, let's say, ground to stand on. And we think from consortium side, the expression is that organizers took this seriously, and the teams at least didn't behave bad. A rather big variety of behavior from the teams, I think. So did we do COVID well? I think the feedback we are getting is that we did what we could. TV, attractiveness to fans, attractiveness to media. Well, facts are that we had 8 out of 9 races covered by TV. Facts are that we have viewing records in both Norway and Sweden for the World Cup. They keep beating records, actually beating records twice actually in Sweden over the year. Facts are that the IOF Live went up 20%. I suppose it's also a fact that some of the races did not finish on schedule. There's a there's a window for TV, and that was not held in a number of cases in both directions. When listening to TV, they are of course happy with the viewing figures. They're using particularly SVT, that's being Sweden, using rather strong words when describing the viewing figures. They are surprised. We're hearing about well-prepared organizers. However, the GPS failure, I think we're all aware that we had failures or problems with the GPS, and we have a variety of problems and a variety of reasons for the problems. And it didn't turn out well. TV is telling us that that is probably most important, or the analysis rather, is that it's probably most important for the orienteers, for the audience knowing the sport. While for the ordinary TV viewer, it's still has an importance, but maybe not to the same extent. But in the situation with gender equality in Italy, the middle, that is, where one of the genders got more TV time than the other, we are noticing from consortium side, we're noticing poor sales. So for round 2 and 3, for the VOC, if we include VOC, we had, I think it was, we had many enough stations or on expected level and on a rising level, and also for round 1, which also was the European Championships, was good. However, for round 2 in Sweden, we only had Swedish television and Norwegian television. Norway coming in only a few days ahead of the event, and as a result, my analysis said it's a result of Casper. So it's a Casper effect. Norway doing well, so therefore TV is coming. And on the list we're missing Finland. On my wish list is good results from Finland in round 1 in 2022, and it will be easy to get Yle on board again. But generally good quality of the TV broadcasts, I think. Looking at finances, I'm strictly talking about IOF and consortium point of view, not from organizer side. But we do not have a larger commercial partner. That is a blank spot. That is a source of income, and that will help. Once we have that, it will help being more attractive for we're bringing more money into the sport, and that will be used to make the World Cup more attractive for all parties. Looking slightly on technicalities, I know there are. It's easy to have views on technicalities. I'm talking here about orienteering technicalities. And teams and athletes, they have a number of input. This list could be longer. I've chosen some of the issues being brought up. Looking on the bigger level, there are no larger issues. That's what the consortium is saying. None of the races is cancelled or results too late or anything like that. There's a variety of quality, but nothing really bad. No catastrophe happened during the year. But the debate among teams and athletes that they've been bringing up is to equalize gender equality, pointing at the long distance running time and also on start order for the mixed relay. There's one thing being brought up, mapping issues. I don't know if we will ever have a year or a series of 9 competition without mapping issues. I don't know if it has ever happened. I don't know if it ever will happen. But again, there are this year a number of things being brought up. I'll not go to the details here. There are also some other details on the training area was used for the competition in Italy. There are reasons behind it. But of course, teams are noticing and commenting. And some other things. The list could be slightly longer here. Yeah, these I think we're now through the most important aspects, but there are also some other things that we are hearing. The VOC is not any longer a part of the World Cup. Should it be? I think from the rules or the setup of the consortium, the answer is no. It doesn't fit in the World Cup program. Not for now. TV, we had too much commercials in the forest. TV reacted on that. If you remember, there were big signs in the forest and placed in rather obvious places, and maybe even helped the athletes to find the controls. And TV said that was too much. I was going beyond what we can do. There is, however, no reaction on advertisement and commercial messages in urban areas over the year. So I think we have found where the border is right now, 2021. I think we need to stay to that border for now. Then maybe we can stretch the border further on. Yeah, not much audience, considering for round one for COVID, and for the other rounds, maybe placements. We cannot expect very much audience. Now, should that be? Should we take any consideration of that, or should we focus on the areas that can be, or the terrain that can be presented in these remote areas? It's a debate that I think needs to continue. The new World Cup web page is being used and it's being referred to, so it made a difference. Now, putting this together and the learnings ahead for 2022 and maybe beyond, well, the tracking project is initiated, trying to find a solution that could possibly be beyond GPS solution, looking at what other sports are doing, possibly other techniques, so that it's like a project and it's initiated, but I don't think we'll see any output from it in 2022. Which means that for GPS and timing and punching, decision is taken that in 22, each of the organizers will take their own decisions and have been taking decisions. But for 23, the ambitions are to centralize solutions and also contracts for these suppliers. That's the ambition. To address the TV window, Photo Commission is on top of it and looking at it, talking to SEAs, enlightening organizers, trying to find solutions. We heard from Daniel Wolf's presentation yesterday, one of the solutions, that's called the solution. Photo Commission is also on top of the gender issues and will come with recommendations or new rules. For 22, I think we will still see the unequal running time on long for both the longs during the year. For uniforming details, technicalities, the World Cup manual that Helge took us through yesterday is important. There's a lot of input there, so please read it carefully. We learned about, maybe this is learnings from the pre-meetings of COVID, but also from VOC, where we had several meetings leading up to the events. So we'll have TV meetings ahead of each event. Karel, the TV producer, will have a series of meetings or online meetings to make sure all details are in place. It worked well during VOC, so that is being implemented also for the World Cup. Also management meetings, so organized from IOF office with organizers ahead of the events for going through all the details. Yeah, to attract organizers, that's not for 22. We have organizers for 22. Yeah, we need to, in the long run, have better conditions for organizers. The ambitions of all races on TV for 22, it's done. And beyond that, we need to work on more TV clients to ensure that it's happening. Yeah, and the other things are commercial messages. I think that took us through that. Yeah. So with that, I would like to open for discussion. And I suppose leaving to you first,